everybody, welcome back to Angry Badger Minis. We're getting set up here for this stream. Let's see here. There was some kind of update or whatever, but that's okay. And thankfully we're on 47 now. And I think I've figured out what the deal is. It's got something to do with my internet service provider when we have, you know, like the inside of the living room and stuff, pulling things and sending me to a different IP, if you will, inside of the entire server. But I'm not, you know, the most computer guru-ish. I mean, there was a time, but not anymore. And but that's pretty much what I've figured out, because now that everybody's gone, TV's off, 47 is working. So anyway, that being said, we're working, as you can see, we're working on these drones. Believe it or not, I've been working on them most of the day. And they are fiddly. They are kind of a pain to put together. For those of you that are tower players, you know this. Especially when it comes to that antenna on top. If you don't watch it, you're going to turn right around. You're going to turn right around and snap that thing off. And I think I've snapped off about 10 of them, to be honest with you. But anyway, what I've come up with is I'm not going to worry so much about making sure that each, you know, strike team or whatever has. Oh, by the way, let me just say this. I'm on my last 12 drones here of regular style drones, regardless of the recon drone, and I forget what these other two ones, like gravity drone or something else. I don't know. I'll learn it eventually. And then of course I put the missile pod thing together here. But anyway, I'm on my last 12 regular drones, and then I have 2 more drones left. But those are the ones that come with and go with the Riptide battlesuit. So I'm just gonna leave that for when I get to him. I've already these I fished out of the Riptide and broadside battlesuit box. So this is it, man. This is it for the drones. I don't think I have any more. And I was even able to find a way to make my old drones work that were missing parts. So what I have here basically is squads of 5, if you will, or if you wanted to go 10, I guess, I think you can go up to 10. But anyway, I've got 4 of them are, you know, dual carbine, and one's a marker light, you know, for each one. I don't know how much the marker light's even going to matter. It's really going to depend upon, you know, what SEP that I decide to choose. I'm of the mindset, and I'm trying to remember what it's the one. It's the Homeworld one, I believe. Pretty sure it's the Homeworld one. I just can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But anyway, it's the one where they're painted white and red, although I can't stand red. And I probably won't paint them white. I can paint them whatever and just pick it, you know, pick whatever SEP I want. But where they don't have any penalties for moving and shooting, I believe. And I think they even get extra range. I don't know. It's something that's intrigued me. I know it's not what most people run. Most people are running like Shadow, you know, Shadow Sun. Basically without Shadow Sun, nobody's even bothering trying to compete or whatever. Well, I'm not trying to compete. I'm trying to have fun. I've got a ton of models in this army, more than I thought I really had. My wife actually, you know, before I went live on the stream, actually just started laughing about it. She's like, for someone who hates Tau, these are her words, for someone who hates Tau, you sure have a lot of them. I said, yeah, I know. I don't know what happened. So I think there was a time, I know that I bought a bunch. I know that I had bought a bunch before the codex, the original codex had come out. Now some of this other stuff, of course, I couldn't pass up the deal. I think I talked about that in a previous video. I guess I just didn't look at what it was that I was getting, and I just bought it because it was so cheap. I mean, dude, I think I got each box, you know, crisis suits, all of it. I think I got each one maybe no more than $5 a box. I mean, again, that's probably why they ripped the UPC symbol off. I'm happy that I can't even remember what store it was or where it was, so that way if GW sends their, you know, corporate executives to try to freaking, or not executives, but their strike team to come and try to, you know, infiltrate me and put me on the, you know, the stretching board, I won't have anything to tell them. So that being said, we are getting to the end of this. So what does this mean for this project? Well, I didn't quite make it, you know, as far as, you know, getting, you know, everything done but the broadside battle suits and the riptide this weekend, but I'm close. Once these are done, I'm rolling right into finishing up the Crute, and I have 4 boxes of Crute, 16 Crute each in each box. I think we have a total of 70. Let me think about that. Trying to think. I know I had another set of Crute somewhere. That I know I put them together already. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember how many were in there off the top of my head. I think there were 12. So that would give me, you know, 76. That would give me 76 Crute. I think I'm somewhere around 80. I think about 80 strike team guys, something like that. We've got 2 squads of 6 crisis battle suits, plus the 3 crisis battle suit commanders. Of course, they're all V8 battle suits, nothing high speed. And I've been looking at some of that stuff, like the, what's it called, the ghost keel or whatever. That looks kind of cool. The actual commander battle suit looks pretty cool. I mean, the newer one, I'm sorry. I mean, they're all, you know, you can have whatever, but I'm just not, you know, sold on buying anything right now. And the last thing I want to do is turn around and be sitting here with the towel even more when I've got more armies to put together and shelves, you know, or cases to get, you know, to get emptied and put together. That being said, before I get to painting any of these armies, I'm going to take a last look at anything that I feel that I need to buy that could potentially be a problem for matching up the paint scheme, and then I will buy that model. I am halfway tempted, and you guys are going to laugh, but I'm halfway tempted to buy another Riptide. I don't know, maybe it's just because I like big mix, but that being said, the one thing I've noticed, which I don't know, man, it reminds me of Men in Black, you know, Men in Black syndrome, with the heads on these things, you know. It's like the head size doesn't change no matter the battle suit. You know, we're witch doctor shrunken head syndrome in a way. Of course I'm joking, but you get what I'm saying. Let's see here. That one's broken, that one's broken, those two are not. And then when I say broken, I had to twist them off because I realized that I had done some things that I shouldn't have done when I glued them onto the specific drones. So anyway, what I was gonna say about these drones, that's you know, worth it to say is, I'm not outfitting these drones, and this pretty much goes across my entire methodology. Geez, I can't even speak. With all the stuff that you guys have seen me put together, in my mind, you know, these are not tournament quote armies. You know, they're you know, I don't even know that I would ever, you know, play in a grand tournament or something like that. I don't know that I'll ever have time again to do that. But what I will have time for is some really fun games. And what I don't want to have happen, I think it would be much better if my opponent, you know, was looking at, say, these drones right here, and I said, look, all of these drones, and there's a way to do this. It's, you know, I'll show you guys when I paint things and do some, because there'll be some other little finagle things that I'm going to do. You know, these are all shield drones, and I'm a big proponent of making sure that before I roll any dice, my opponent knows exactly what is firing at them or not firing at them. And because I'm not a cheater, I will make sure that, you know, that doesn't happen. More often than not, as you guys have seen in my tabletop simulator battles, I have, as I'm trying to learn 40K, 9th edition and stuff like that, more often than not I forget to use all of the cool things that my army could potentially do that would have been, a lot more beneficial to me. And well, it's just how it goes. That's my bust, and I mean, if I didn't use it, that's to my opponent's advantage. So anyway, yeah, we're working on our last 12 here of these, style drones, and then this entire crew is going away. We'll clean up, and we're going to break out recruits and start putting together 60. Hold on, let me see. I think it's 64. Yeah, 64. 16 times 4, 64. So 64 recruits. And hopefully this time we will not run into the problem of, even though I sorted out the guns and the arms together the way they were supposed to be, hopefully we will not run into the problem that arms weren't fitting or whatever. Now, all that being said, you're going to have plenty of extra parts. I mean, I've got a bunch sitting right here of recruit weapons, heads, whatever. So I plan on using some of that stuff for some of my, like say Imperial Guard type stuff, because I do plan on buying myself a Catachan army at some point, maybe. Right now I've got Steel Legion and Krieg Death Corps, and those are my favorites anyway. I do have some Catachan models somewhere. They're not a big army. They were made more for a smaller game, which I didn't even know Lost Patrol was a thing when I made this particular way of playing. But I think once I get that board put back together and redone, you guys will really enjoy that gameplay. It's kind of neat. It can be slow moving as far, because you are literally fighting through a jungle, if you will. And I mean, it just depends on, the loadout that you take and things like that, what you can see, what you can't. Flamers obviously will be heavy in that type of gameplay, but it's pretty cool. But anyway, I need just to shut up and start putting some stuff together. But going back to those guys, at some point I'm going to I've learned where you can line this up, so that way you don't screw it up in the end. I'm gonna take some of those pieces and whatnot and see if I can't use them as battlefield debris or debris, if you're English, and or maybe, I don't know, in Australia, do you guys say it like that? I don't remember. Maybe Mick can help me with that one. But yeah, and I want to appreciate, or say I appreciate whoever the new subscribers are, especially considering what the topic was in the last video. I will, strictly say, it's not how I want to run this show here. I want this to be fun. I want us to enjoy the hobby, and for the most part I have moved on. But thank you for hearing me out. Thank you for understanding. And again, the comment sections are always open for whatever your take is on it. Whether you agree with me, disagree, just want to vent some frustration like I did, feel free, man. And again, to the parents, apologize. I should have put that disclaimer out there first. If you've got any, children watching this channel, God help them. No, I'm kidding. Let's see here. I've also been trying to watch a couple of, like not really watching, but listening to some battle reports involving the Tau. And all I keep hearing is complaints, they don't work, they suck and blah, blah, blah. And I remember I think it was 8th edition, they just couldn't be beat, So it makes me laugh a little bit. But what I'm finding out in these battle reports is I'm finding very few battle reports that are newbie friendly. Meaning, if you were just to listen and you had no real understanding of the game, you just don't know what the hell's going on. You won't know what's going on. So that's my take on it. But so it's gotten hard to listen to. I mean, don't get me wrong, the graphics are great. You know, the production quality of some of these videos is amazing. I mean, you know, some of these guys that, you know, they went to school for this very thing, and that's great. You know, and hats off to them. I mean, sometimes I can get into the game, sometimes I just can't. Well, a lot of times I can't, but you know, it is what it is. But who knows? All you guys out there in the Maldives, glad nobody got hurt from the Chinese rocket. By the way, I'd venture to say that was, you know, a miscalculation by an orc. But I'd watch out, because it could be a Space Hulk full of gene stealers, and not necessarily a Chinese rocket. Just saying. But it could be an orc rock, and I don't know. Can orcs swim? I'm sure they can, or I would think that they could. But no, in all seriousness, I'm glad nobody got hurt from that nonsense. Sorry, my hand's not actually in the shot here. I'm over here just sitting back in my chair, slapping these pieces onto these drones, and I'm not even paying attention. That one doesn't look like it wants to work right. Come on, man. Alright. Looks like we got us here, problem child. Gotta make sure you line this stuff up, man, or your guns are gonna look stupid. Oh, so that's what I was gonna say. I think I got off the subject quite a bit on this one. So I got all these, you know, drones, right? And my goal here is I'm gonna keep the guns on the drones, you know, marker lights or guns. That's basically what I've resigned myself to. Specifically the marker lights as well. But more importantly, I want to make sure that I can, you know, I'm not gonna like remove the guns for the sole purpose of being able to say, or have shield drones. It would be easier for me to say, look, these are shield drones with the guns on them, and just disregard the guns. Now some of you may say, well, why don't you just magnetize them? That's a lot of rare earth magnets, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. Not to mention, while I'm a big fan of magnetizing weapons and things like that, I mean, let's get real here. You know how many freaking guns that would be having, you know, you'd have to keep track of? That's, you know, in a Space Marine squad, it's not that bad. You got one guy, you know, maybe two at the most. You know, a normal Space Marine tactical squad, for instance, that's going to have a special weapon. I think at most, you might have, like, even if you look at, you know, say, Pathfinder squad, you know, the most that you would have is 3 rail rifles, I believe, you know, for Tau Pathfinder. So that's kind of where I'm going with this whole deal. So even though, and I mean, at the same time, who knows? You know, you want that diversity as well. I mean, if I really wanted to, I mean, what do I got here? I got 12, so that's 4, 8. That's at least 3 more squads of drones like this. Now, or I mean, I don't mean to say squads. That's, yes, it could be squads, you know, especially if you brought them over here. 1, 2, so it's at least 1 more. That would be 3, because I believe the tactical drones, aren't they like, I think they're fast attack, right? Hold on, I got it right here. Let me see real quick. Yeah, they're fast attack. Okay, so if you wanted to have nothing but fast attack drones, or maybe you took another detachment or whatever, you know, there you go. And then you've got plenty of gun drones or marker light drones or whatever that you could put with whatever unit to bolster their stuff. Okay, but the point is, like, for instance, the broadside battle suit, those models, they're guns, and I took the, at least on Battle Scribe, I took the prototype Magna rail rifle. Okay, and if I'm not mistaken, that thing's a 60-inch gun. Okay, well, if it's a 60-inch gun, what the hell do I need pulse carbines for? What do I need missiles for? You see what I mean? I don't. I just don't. So the most that I would do would be shield drones. You know what I mean? Just, basically to, try to get those guys through a couple of turns, whatever. Assuming that I fielded all of them or whatever. But again, I would much rather be able to say, look, all this guy's got is shield drones. There's no guns there, versus he looks at it and goes, so he can look at my, the opponent can look at the stuff and go, even if I've forgotten, go, oh man, these guys got guns, and he can plan for guns. You see what I mean? Which is different than looking at something that doesn't have guns, and then he moves because he forgot or whatever, and then it's easy for me to take back the casualties. It's not easy for him to take back his movement. Does that make sense? So just something to think about, or to share with you guys on how I like to play this stuff. So what do we got here? I don't think we have enough of these veins here. 2, 4, 6, 8. We do not. 9, 10, 11, 12. I need 3 more. There's one. Whoa, easy. Can't afford to be losing parts. Hopefully either tomorrow, Tuesday, or Wednesday, all of our all of our oh man, that was right there. I could have used that instead of gluing one on. You son of a gun. Probably need some more guns though, because these pulse carbines. The bases for the rest of the Crisis battle suits will be here, so that way I can get them, finished and put up. I've tried to convince myself to get hammerheads or something. I just can't do it. The piranhas are annoying. The hammerheads, in my opinion, suck. They just, not in terms of gameplay, because obviously the meta is what it is, but at the same time, I just cannot stand the way they look. Also, all I'm seeing, again, is everybody grouping their models together just like this, and then this is how they play. And I'm just like, well, what's the point of even having terrain except for the fact that you're, trying to hide and, from getting shot? So, I don't know, man. I'm wondering if there's a way that I could proxy something else as the hammerhead, something I would like that would be sort of Tau-ish, or if I could buy one of those models and then turn around and do some type of conversion to it so it doesn't look so, well, it's unappealing to me. If any of you guys have any ideas about that, please let me know, because man, I do not like the way the guns look. The ships look. Let's see here. That looks like a big one. Okay. And to whoever, if that person that I talked about in the video happens to see it or whatever and gets upset about what I had said, look, it wasn't a personal attack on you, but I really think you need to rethink your priorities. Oh, this is something else I'm thinking about doing for the shield stuff. I don't think that these are too much smaller, and maybe I could do something else, like maybe, put some card stock or something, I don't know. Anyway, all of these shield things that I've got that go on their arms, I'm never going to use that thing, probably. The game's too fast for that crap anyway. I've got so many of those that I could potentially make these my shield drones, you know what I mean, if I really want to down the road. But we'll see. Got some extra burst cannons. Just trying to make sure I'm not missing anything here. Gotta love all these extra parts here. Alright, so that's it for that. Hopefully we're gonna have enough guns here for 12, so I need to sort this stuff out here real quick. Need 12 of each. We'll see if it works out. Well, 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's see what we got over here. A lot of these are the ones that I cut off from when I made mistakes. I'd like to not have to. So there's at least 12 on the left. And then I need 4 more on the right. Yeah, I'm being picky. Don't hate me. Looks like the rest of these are on the right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Nope, just need 3. So I'm gonna have to make sure that that's cut correctly, flat. I'll sand those off real quick. I mean, sand them, you know, rough. Of course that happened. Why wouldn't it? Alright. I think we're still, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, so we got enough for that. That's good. This is where it gets tricky, is these ones that were oh crap, that's the other thing I gotta do. I gotta cut at least 3 of these off on the side. So that these will fit on there. Those 3 just kind of relax. Let me move this back some. I know that I'm not really in the shot here. Alright, take this one off here. Glue on there. Yeah, I didn't think you were gonna hold. I probably should be putting the other one on first, so that way I can make sure this one's lined up. But you know, worst case, we'll just break it off. But I need to identify the ones that I'm gonna, you know, cut off anyway. So. What I normally do is I normally slap these on, line them up, and then put a little glue on there. And I line them up like this by setting them down even. And I just throw a little glue on the inside and let them sit. Now you may say to yourself, Scott, looks like you're going pretty quick to me. What took you so long with the rest of these things? Let me tell you. A lot of cleanup and sorting it out was the big thing. Trying to figure out what it was that I needed, like where everything was. I have this feeling in my head that almost every one of these drones will probably function as a shield drone instead of ever being a gun drone. But I don't know. Who knows? Could be smaller battles or something like that. But again, I want to make sure that the option is on there because in my mind it'll be easier for my opponent to deal with. And in some cases, you know, they may be like, oh, well, that's cool. I don't have to worry about getting shot. That's no good. Does not want to function correctly. We'll let this one sit like this. Hopefully it won't glue itself to the mat. Most of you are probably in bed right now. Like I said, we got family over that, you know, aren't going to bed until late for whatever reason, so I'm stuck until at least next Friday. Oh man, I knew you were gonna break off of there. You son of a gun. I knew it. I knew this was one of them. And there it goes. Shoot. Probably about to make a huge mess here. Kind of worked out. After that, we'll be able to go earlier in the evening. You know, most of these drones were not this loose. For some reason these all seem to be. Not sure why. But I'm hoping that I'm gonna, you know, honestly, that I'm gonna fall in love with this army and have fun with it. I really am. Sure would be a waste for, you know, money wise and everything else, for it to just sit, you know, on a shelf and never be played with. Oh, and something I don't believe I've ever covered is why I build armies the way that I do. I'm sure it's been said in your gaming groups or whatever, but I really mean this when I say I build armies to kill Space Marines. And the best way I've ever found to kill Space Marines was through volume of fire. So does that mean that my Space Marine armies are made to kill Space Marines? Yep. All this hubbub and, you know, some little bit of crying and whining regarding the Drukhari Codex. Well, I think that's mostly because nobody's playing with any real tactics. Now again, this is my opinion. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm not saying everybody sucks and I'm awesome. I'm just saying I don't see it on the battlefield. All I see is stuff moving forward. As a matter of fact, I almost believe that it's almost impossible to do anything but that, for the sole reason that there's not enough game, you know, there's not enough game time. You know, 6 turns, you know. And I love how everybody says, oh, well, 9th edition forces you to move forward to go after objectives. Okay. Well, I mean, hate to tell you this, but you should have been doing that anyway. Now, how did we miscount here? Clearly we did, somehow. As we've been doing this whole time that we've been putting stuff together. Oh, we didn't miscount. Those guys have their 3. Okay. That's good. Whew. Thank goodness. 100 years later. So I've got a slight issue here with these that I knew I was going to have. Probably won't be able to tell during gameplay, but they're just slightly cocked to the side. It is what it is. Alright. So right now, all the smiley faces as they look. I wonder if anybody's ever done that, like painting up all their drones yellow like a smiley face. That'd be kind of funny. All those are done. Let's give it a little second here to dry. We start putting their little antenna on. Yeah, we got two of these things, these missile launcher deals here. And I chose the one that had the most missiles on it because, you know, again, obviously, I'd rather just have that on there and then just say it's the lesser of the two. That's what makes sense to me. So, you guys probably didn't see this over here, but I have, this is from all of the molds, the Insta mold that I did for the towel bodies, and then I put them back in hot water and then just, you know, put them back in a general form so that I can turn around and, you know, use them again. And I'll probably will use them because I need to, what I need to do, unless I find one in here somewhere, is I need to snap off one of these target locks and put it on this one. I've got one crisis battle suit here that's missing one, and I need to do that, so put it right here. Now some of you may be saying, well, hey man, you can't have burst cannon, you know, plasma rifle or plasma gun, whatever it is, and a missile launcher, and you're right, you can't, okay, on the normal crisis battle suit. But again, I'm trying to just put the option on there so I can say, look, you know, he doesn't have this or whatever. It sounds more complicated and more trouble than it really is. You know, it's just the way it goes. But alright, I think we're in somewhat of a state here. I'll move these guys over here, give them some more time to dry. I think we're good on putting the antenna on. Hopefully we're not short. I just realized something. Man, I hope I'm not short on bases and stems. Oh man, I don't think I am, but you never know. And one. Two. I promise I'm not going to go through them all like that. Just like, you know, 11 of them. No, I'm kidding. As my father used to say, nobody gets my jokes. Amazing how dainty these things are, you know. It's kind of crazy actually. Oh man, I just realized I did something I shouldn't have done, is I did not sand off these top pieces right here. At least you can kind of get away with it on the bottom here, but not on the top, man, because you start pressing down on that thing, you'll snap it right off. This will be the last one we glue before we do that again. see if I can gingerly do this without ripping it off or breaking it. It's just a very, very poor connection point right there. Alright, crisis averted. Let's fix the rest before we move on. Why don't you guys say something? I'm kidding. Some of these aren't in the same spot because they came off of different sprues. Also, even though it won't matter this week, Monday and Tuesday, tomorrow evening and the next evening, I mean, I'll be on, again about the normal time. I mean, that I've been doing right now, about 9:30, 10 or so, because I'll be at a couple of meetings. But, sometimes it's just how it goes. Oh my gosh, I almost put that on backwards. I'm sure there's been armies out there with as many drones as this, but I've never seen them in real life. Or in person, I mean to say. I think I might have seen something close in a white dwarf, or maybe in the codex or something, but not exactly positive on that. So you think, you're thinking to yourselves right now, man, he's almost done. Nope. I still gotta deal with the bases, and while I'm not gluing them onto the base, what has to happen is I gotta make sure that the stem gets down in there, and I am gluing the stem to the base. Some of that requires me beating on it. Some of them they won't even go in beating on it. You're gonna have to scrape it out. So for the sake of YouTube, I'm gonna try to, I'll dry fit everything first, and then I'll probably just scrape out the hole for those that really need the dry fit. Whoops, that did not quite go in there. What the heck is your problem, man? but the bulk of the work is done. As far as putting these drones together. Okay, that's not even in the hole. Alright, and now those can sit there and rest and dry, cure, whatever. And I'm going to go over here and grab all of the stuff, hopefully. We should have 12 of these doodads. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Not looking promising, not gonna lie. I think I have some that I purchased for some reason, I'm not sure. Also, I want all these drones on the same level, you know what I mean? What do we got here? That's 6. There we go, 12 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm using not the tall one, the tall deal here. I'm using the smaller one. Now you may be asking yourself, Scott, why are you keeping all the other stuff? You never know what you're going to need that stuff for. You just don't. And I'm hoping that when I get to the stage of melting plastic for things, you know, if I've got different types of plastic, maybe it'll all work out. I mean, I'm not sure that this is the same plastic that these are. I think this might be acrylic, but I'm not sure. But we'll see how it works out. Now I want everybody to remember what this project is all about. The project is about one man doing all this, not hiring a team to paint stuff. Okay? It's just one guy doing everything. Because I've looked at some of the gaming channels out there, do battle reports, and of course they've got, you know, some of them have, you know, entire armies behind them all painted, and they look great. No jealousy here at all. But it wasn't one guy that did it. You know what I mean? At least not in the manner that I am. Get these off. I'm not gluing them on right now because obviously I'm going to want to paint them. So they don't really sit on there very well. I mean, they're loose. Alright. Let's see what we got here. That one's good. That one's not. Be the stem. Yeah. I think it's the stem. It's good. It's good. Now you want to make sure that when you're doing this, for those of you that don't know, if you've watched this long, that you make sure you don't glue this stuff and then not give it a place to breathe, because you're going to get that white stuff all over. Oh my gosh, we only have one we got to deal with. That's awesome. That ain't coming out. The rest of these are going to have to be glued. And you don't need a lot of glue, just a little bit. And make sure it's standing up straight. That one was in there a little tight, but still needs some glue. Try to make sure you don't get any glue on the actual surface. Now, if you're planning on, you know, actually basing it, then it doesn't matter. And I'll probably do that as well. But, because I mean, these things never seem to stay unscratched, you know. But we'll see. We'll see how we feel when we get to that point. By then, who knows, maybe we'll have been so upset with the towel we would have melted them. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. I'd sell them on eBay before that happened. No, I'm still confident that I'm going to be able to like this army, and that's important. It's all going to come down to the paint job, I believe. I really do. Well, alright guys, so this stuff is gonna have to cure, and I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Remember, please like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. Please spread the word, and if you'd like to support us, please check out our Patreon, and we'll see you next time.